So, the Gears of War PlayStation 5 collection reveal, The Last of Us Part 3 is not happening, and new secret PlayStation first-party game. Those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, yes or no, are you a Last of Us fan or not? Whether that's just the show or the games or both, are you a fan in general? We're obviously going to be talking about the franchise today, so comment below yes or no if you're a Last of Us fan or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, new secret first-party PlayStation Studios title. Reading from Push Square, a freshly spotted job listing at PlayStation's new LA studio reveals that the team is crafting a high-profile AAA console title, and it may revolve around co-op multiplayer. Said job listing is for a game systems designer, which basically covers all kinds of player interaction on a fundamental level. The description reads, "You will craft mechanics, progression, and reward systems that enhance the player experience, ensuring a balance between challenge, engagement, and fun." That doesn't really tell us much about the project itself, but the section regarding desired qualifications probably gives us a peek behind the curtain. In particular, it asks for candidates who are experienced in cooperative multiplayer design principles and ideals. The next bullet point might also raise a few eyebrows, as it asks for a strong ability to analyze game data and player feedback to inform system balancing and improvements. At a glance, this could suggest a live service style model that hinges on regular updates, but at this point, it could just be referring to internal playtest and the like. So if this is Jason Blundell's game, I wouldn't be surprised if it does have a co-op mode or some type of co-op focus, considering his past work involves Call of Duty Zombies. Deviation Games was where Blundell used to be, which was also based in LA before Sony shut it down, so it makes sense that this new studio being created in LA is Jason's potential studio. The game they were building at Deviation Games had single player, multiplayer, and co-op, I believe, which sounded like Call of Duty in terms of mode structure. This game probably has been in the works for nearly 3 years maybe, so we won't likely hear about it officially just yet, unless obviously it's progressed that fast. I'm really curious to see what Jason's been doing, and if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Last of Us Part 3 canceled. So this was wild to see how the spread across the internet and how many people believe that Neil outright just said there won't be a Last of Us Part 3. That's many people believe this. Like, I've had back and forth conversations with people across multiple platforms. So this all started from a Variety article that was covered by many news platforms, obviously. In that interview, Neil was asked about the Last of Us Part 3. So we're just going to read that section from the Variety article. Then there's the long-whispered possibility of The Last of Us Part 3. "I was waiting for this question," Druckmann says, "sighing when I bring up the prospect of a third game. I guess the only thing I would say is don't bet on there being more of Last of Us. This could be it. No matter the show's long-term prospects, with a renewal all but guaranteed from HBO, Mazin and Druckmann will soon start this process all over again." So when I read this, it sounded like he said there might not be more Last of Us after The Last of Us Part 3. Another way of reading this is that there might not be more Last of Us after the show. This could be it. The show is the end of the franchise. One key thing to take away, though, is that he said could. That's something seemingly a lot of people have just ignored. He never said we're just not doing a third game. He never outright said this, which people have reiterated to me multiple times, especially on Facebook. I'm assuming he's doing this to throw people off because just last year, he said there's another story to tell for The Last of Us that connects all 3 games. So he's referring to the third one. It has its own story and it has a through line going all the way back to the first Last of Us, connecting the second one and bringing it back to the third. We also officially know from Naughty Dog that they have multiple narrative projects in the works. Neil outright told us that 250 people have been working on Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, since 2020. Looking up how many people work at Naughty Dog, the last official number we have was over 400 people in mid-2023, so it could very well be much more than that, considering also that The Last of Us show intends to go to potentially maybe 4 seasons or even more, it's open, it makes sense that the other narrative title being worked on is Last of Us Part 3. I mainly only care about Last of Us Part 3 because of the potential of them bringing whatever they did with Factions 2 to this game as a PvP mode. No huge games as a service thing going on there, just the PvP. That's why I care about The Last of Us Part 3. So I hope that is the case. It makes sense that that's the next game they're working on, mainly because of the show, the studio size as well. There's hundreds of people that obviously have been working on something else, and they've already told us that they have multiple narrative titles in the works. We'll see how this goes, of course, but you guys let me know if you want a Last of Us Part 3 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, new Gears of War PlayStation 5 reveal. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, a new report claims that the Gears of War Collection PlayStation 5 listing has been uploaded to the PlayStation Store's backend, revealing new tidbits of information. While the latest leak doesn't quite confirm if the trilogy will launch day and day on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC, it does suggest a launch later in 2025. According to ex-user Detective Seeds, Gears of War Collection is targeting an early mid-August 2025 launch on the PlayStation 5. What's more is that the title is PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced. Unfortunately, however, it looks like the trilogy will come without multiplayer. Apparently, the PlayStation Store listing for Gears of War shows that it's a single-player game. Unless the listing has yet to be updated, there's no mention for support for additional players. Detective Seeds further claims that he sought clarification on co-op support, but hasn't heard back from their source yet. So no multiplayer mode is one thing, since the Gears of War multiplayer wasn't really that good in my opinion after it became a wall-hugging competition and never really changed. But co-op, that has to be a thing for this remaster. It would be weird not having that option to play these games in co-op, since I intended to replay them all on PlayStation 5 with a buddy of mine like we did on the Series X not too long ago. Let's see how this plays out come this summer, but you guys let me know if you'd buy a Gears of War collection with no multiplayer or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with Bring On the Phoenix. Obviously, this is in reference to Marcus Phoenix of the Gears of War franchise. I'm looking forward to it. It's still going to be shocking to see this on PlayStation, but when it comes, I'm going to be playing it on PlayStation. I'm going to replay the series again. If you're excited for Gears of War coming to the PlayStation 5, destroy the comment section with Bring On the Phoenix. And I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now, I'll check you guys out on the next one.
Watch it!